Hello and welcome to the UAS podcast. I am your host, Anna Simet. We are here live at the UAS Summit and Expo in Grand Forks, North Dakota. My special guest this episode is Ryan Steenerson, Senior Business Development Manager at Ideal Aerosmith Inc. Ryan, hello and welcome to the podcast.
Yes, Anna. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And again, this year the event is amazing. So ideal being here is a pleasure.
Yeah, it's buzzing today. How about we begin, Ryan, by having you give our listeners a quick overview of Ideal Aerosmith, who you are and what you've been known for over the years.
Perfect. Yeah. Ideal has been foundational in aerospace and defense. I guess I'll give a little quick background on myself as senior business development manager. Been with the company just over a year and experience in sales and kind of new to the technology. So really learning this has been really exciting as we drive that forward. And when we say foundational, Ideal's been in aerospace and defense since 1938. So the company has been around for many years and is foundational in that technology of inertial test solutions.
Been around a long time, long legacy. How did it all begin?
When you look at inertial test solutions, what does that mean? Right. So looking at orientation in space. So those different sensors, your gyroscopes, accelerometers, your flight controls that tell you the position of whatever that sensor is attached to. So we developed the Scoresby motion table in 1946, and that system is still sold today. And that mimics the pitch, roll, and yaw of an aircraft to understand where that aircraft is positioned in space so the pilots could trust the gauges as they're operating this aircraft. You drive that forward to rate and position tables. Centrifuge and flight motion simulation are the foundational expertise that Ideal Aerosmith continues to have. So to bring it down to not engineering speak and think about closing your eyes and moving your head around, and you feel that motion in space, right? Your head is moving around and you understand if you're going left or right, or if you're stopping or speeding up, you get that sensation. How does technology understand that? How does your cell phone understand if it's portrait or landscape, or your wearable device, your VR headset? How does you turning your head match up with the screen that's going on there, or the accelerometer in your car that's deploying an airbag if you're in an accident, or a hypersonic missile, or an airplane, or a UAS like we have here at the summit today? That inertial sensor is telling location in space and is often corrected by GPS, but continues to go back to that sensor. So if the GPS signal is lost in a contested environment or in an inner city or in a location where there's a blurb in the GPS, you still have that sensor that's able to tell you your position. So we provide the equipment for those sensor manufacturers to design, develop, test, and calibrate those sensors 6 stories below it ever makes it to a UAS that's operating in the field, or the aircraft that many of the people flew in here to Grand Forks today, that pilot's looking at the dials in their six-pack to understand the orientation of the aircraft. That sensor has been verified, calibrated, and is now a trusted thing that happened way down at the engineering level, where our team supports internationally a huge portion of that work.
Super interesting. Ryan, what do you think has kept Ideal at the forefront of precision testing for so many decades?
I got to lean on our smart people. So the the culture and the expertise that we continue to bring to the table is really, we have that ethic of showing up, working hard, and bringing that proper solution to each of our clients. So most of what we do is customized, brought forward, and delivered at the best price point for our clients.
So one of the things Aerosmith is best known for is your inertial test and motion simulation systems. Can you explain what those are and why they're so critical in the aerospace and defense world?
Yeah, and we just talked about that a little with understanding that precision and being able to trust those sensors as they're put into systems. When you break that down, especially in the UAS field or aviation as a whole, as you get to further advancement of AAM and having a more complex airspace, it's really important to understand your exact location and be able to trust those systems. And for those manufacturers to be able to select the right sensor to put on their particular mission.
So inertial sensors seem to be everywhere. What industries does Ideal support?
Basically anything that has movement, right? Is we've got a video playing at our booth today that shows many of the things that we do. So we talked a little bit about aviation, defense. We're also in the oil and gas industry, right? So when you're drilling for oil, you have to understand where that drill bit is. And they're using a magnetic signal to understand that location. So our tables are designed for that field to be non-magnetic. So they're aluminum, brass with ceramic motors and having that precision to be able to signal where they are without the interference of magnetic. We've done testing of coffee pots to make sure they can meet the G-force to be on an airplane, right? So a centrifuge, small centrifuge is used for that. You build it up to a centrifuge that is used to test the G-force of a hypersonic missile. You look at the pressure that has to be put on that to make sure that that sensor package can handle the stresses of the real world environment before it's put on a really expensive package and shot off to wherever it's supposed to go. So basically you're looking at technology, wearable devices, you're looking at automotive, you're looking at aviation, you're looking at space, you're looking at oil and gas. Each of those aspects is depending on an inertial sensor and is generally using something else to verify and correct that constantly to make sure it's precise.
Interesting. So, how do you see these systems evolving with the growing autonomy and complexity in modern UAS?
Great question. And as you again look at that AM, the complex airspace, right? The Jetsons, as I age myself and talk about in an old
I've
cartoon,
seen
right?
that.
So when you get that many systems moving in the same space, it's very important to know where each of them is. And you can't just depend on one solution, right? It'll be a combination of things coming together, technologies coming together, and look at the expertise that's in this room that's capable of solving those problems. So that collaboration, that understanding of precision, the different concepts all coming together to make sure that we're not running into each other and that we're completing our mission safely.
Okay, so Ideal Aerosmith is adding another solution from test systems to flight platforms. Tell us about your new low cost, long endurance UAS that you're showcasing here at the summit.
Yeah, so with Ideal, we talked about foundationally where we've been with inertial test solutions. And we've been doing that for years and really have become experts in that. Through that expertise, we've found other opportunities that we've taken a risk on and been very successful at. Part of that is we help design, develop, and now are licensed to sell a ground control station that the Air Force uses. We've done multiple other things in the UAS field on the government side or dual purpose side. And that led to an additional contract of developing this dual purpose aircraft. So we have a commercial version of this aircraft on display today. It is a long endurance, low cost aircraft. So fixed wing aircraft, 15-foot wingspan, 110-pound payload, and generally less expensive than than your pickup that so many people drove here today.
So, Ryan, what kind of missions or end users do you see benefiting the most from this?
Much like our other systems, we're really set up to be able to modify it to meet our clients' needs. So when we look at our inertial test solutions, we're working with our client to figure out what's going to work best for them, and we're able to customize it for that. So our base model airframe is designed to take off and land safely and fly for a long time. The payload package, we've got up to 30 pounds of payload that could be adjusted for that. So multiple different sensors could be involved. So ISR for search and rescue is probably a primary one. Agriculture, we've got a lot of interest in that realm of the longer endurance and more capable aircraft at a lower cost to fit into that market. It's probably the two primary one. And then the government use side, we've got multiple that we're in communication with.
That's a good segue to this question. How are your solutions supporting national security and advanced research efforts?
We continue to develop and work with them. So it's the initial concept of this aircraft was through government program, and we've continued to advance that. So working with them on their mission set and making sure that that's done right, and then dialing all the way down to our inertial test solutions and our capabilities there. The demand coming from national security has been huge on understanding those inertial sensor packages, testing, validating your flight motion simulation, your centrifuge, all the way to the UAS. So I would say 70% of what we do is all directly related to national security, and we're a strong advocate for that.
Okay. Are you seeing more collaboration between government and commercial sectors when it comes to UAS and test technologies?
Another great question. So I the awareness that each of us has of the speed of government being a little bit rough, especially right now during a shutdown, is not great. And on the government side, I believe they're also seeing that. So you're seeing more collaboration there to drive the production, testing, validation, and innovation of these concepts as a dual purpose collaboration. And we've seen that, and I think others in the room have also seen that similar.
Okay, so looking ahead, what's your message to engineers, program managers, or defense buyers?
As we continue to advance, we right now have about 180 employees headquartered here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Got offices in Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and anticipate just under 400 employees in the next year and a half. So first off, we're looking for people. So the smart and qualified, please reach out and let us know. And then when you're looking for those customized solutions. So the high complex engineering problems, the understanding of inertial motion, and the need for qualified systems to complete your mission, we're happy to have that conversation, make it scalable for what you're looking for, and put those pieces together.
So, for those people you're referring to, where can they learn more about Ideal Aerosmith or see the new UAS in action?
We've got it displayed here at the summit. So if you're here, please reach out.
Mm-hmm.
We have our website. You can reach out to us there at any time. sales@idealaero.com is the email that goes to our general account. Happy to connect on LinkedIn, our social media. Our team takes great care of that. So just let us know, and we're very good at following up.
Well, it's been a fascinating conversation, Ryan. I've loved learning more about Ideal Aerosmith. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap things up?
No, appreciate what BDI is doing, the summit. This has been an amazing year again, and happy to be part of it and a sponsor of the event.
We'll be sure to appreciate it. Thank you for being on the podcast and being at the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll catch you next time.